Morning, everyone. So this is a post-harvest innovation program funded project. Okay, first thing. Let me just start first. Why are we looking at ethyl formate as a fumigant? There's a need for alternative post-harvest mitigation treatments. One, to replace methyl bromide, which is being phased out. And ethyl formate is considered to be the most promising replacement fumigant to do so. And secondly, to find treatments that we can use for pests that we currently cannot control with available treatments. So what is ethyl formate? It's a chemical compound that occurs naturally in the environment around us. It is classified as a generally regarded as safe chemical when used as a food additive or flavoring agent because it has a fruity rum-like odor flavor. So we all consume ethyl formate, but at levels that are not detrimental to our health. For the purposes of post-harvest fumigation, we are interested in the insecticidal and fungicidal properties of this chemical. And of course, with it being used on an agricultural product, we must consider residues. And ethyl formate breaks down into ethanol and formic acid. And studies have shown that after fumigation, levels are similar to what is naturally occurring in food and in our environment. So probably our most significant finding during these trials and screening pests for their susceptibility to ethyl formate, we found that ethyl formate kills grain chinch bug. So finally we have something in our toolbox to use against grain chinch bug. But there are challenges with the application. Ethyl formate is a flammable volatile liquid, so there are a number of things to consider when it's being used as a fumigant. The Linde Group developed a formulation called VAPORMATE, which is ethyl formate mixed with CO2. CO2 reduces the flammability and also acts as a solvent propellant for the active ingredient. Currently, there's a conditional registration for VAPORMATE in South Africa held by Afrox. And VAPORMATE dispensing technology limits the scale of application for this fumigation treatment because the product comes in cylinders and Afrox will be importing cylinders from Australia. And the product then needs to be pushed through an electric vaporizer into the fumigation chamber. The vaporizer basically vaporizes the ethyl formate and pushes a warm gas into the chamber, which improves the efficacy and distribution inside the chamber. So VAPORMATE is registered in a number of countries and it is used on a commercial scale. One example is VAPORMATE fumigation of apricots and kiwis in New Zealand to treat for New Zealand flower thrips. That's just a picture of a custom-built chamber with a room next to it to hold the vaporizer and cylinders. And just an example of the limits that there are with this. In one season in New Zealand, they used all the VAPORMATE available to fumigate kiwis that were for export, and they still hadn't covered all the kiwis that they had available to export, so some of it couldn't be exported. So to address this problem with the volumes that can be fumigated, Plant and Food Research in Auckland is working on developing a system to dispense the liquid ethyl formate. It's still a small-scale system, but that's the dispensing unit there, and you use just the liquid ethyl formate instead of a cylinder with VAPORMATE. So the idea is to upscale this, and this is where we are at the moment, developing a system to dose ethyl formate and fumigate product in a shipping container. We are working in conjunction with engineers from Gasset site, and at the moment we are at the point of manufacturing the dosing unit and all associated equipment and making modifications to the chamber. And we plan to do trials in this coming season. And then this is to, in future, be able to deal with the kinds of volumes that we need to fumigate in order to fumigate to control the grain chinch bug. Sorry. And that's it. Those are my acknowledgements. Gasset site and our funders and the colleagues in New Zealand who have been helping with this.